Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
It is 3 p.m. The City Council Semmes work session for December 5th is called to order at 3 p.m. Roll call votes. Roll call.
Mayor David Baker.
Yes, here.
Councilmember Charles Watts.
Here.
Councilmember Howard Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Lawrence Webb.
Here.
Okay.
Councilmember Terry Platt.
Here.
Councilmember Lee Larson.
Here. Okay. First item is item number 3, approval of the minutes from the previous work session council meeting. Give you a minute to look at those and we'll talk about it. That was from the November 21st action.
Make a motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Good. The minutes for the November 21st, 2017 work session are approved. Okay. Today's first presentation, item number 4, is the October 16th through November 15th crime report. Corporal Brad Hardy. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I believe everyone should have the Sheriff's Department call for service spreadsheet.
Okay.
Semmes Junior Report for October 16, 2017, November 15, 2017. Our total calls for service for this period of time were 1,137 compared to this period last year, which was 980. So we're going to be up 157. Next slide. Primary calls for service. Our 911 hang-ups, we had 50. We're down 9 from last year. Our thefts, we had 30. We're down 34. Stolen vehicles, we had 9. We're up 7. Residential burglaries, we had 11. We're up 1. Our commercial burglaries, we had 1. We're down 2 from last year. Vehicle burglaries, we had 17. We're up 11. Residential alarms, we had 68. We're up 17. Commercial alarms, we had 31. We're down 3. Calls on the rise. Total calls for service, stolen vehicles, residential burglaries, vehicle burglaries, and residential alarms. Calls on decline. Our 911 hang-ups, our thefts, commercial burglaries, commercial alarms, traffic grant. 5 deputies worked a traffic grant in Semmes on October the 16th, 2017, resulting in the following: 14 traffic citations, 41 warning citations, and 2 warrant arrests. Significant events. On October 17, 2017, a burglary in progress was reported at 8050 Ward's Lane. The victim was able to give a description of the suspects and the vehicle that they fled the scene in. Deputies located the suspect's stolen vehicle at 8455 Ward's Lane. The suspects fled on foot. With video footage from a nearby residence that was posted on the Team Sheriff Facebook account, the public identified the suspects. Marcus Carr and Travis White were arrested days later in connection with the crime. On October 25th, 2017, the U.S. Marshal Task Force and Mobile County Sheriff's Office K-9 deputies arrested Brandon Mizell at 5740 Joyce Avenue, 8 Mile, Alabama, after their investigation led them to this location. Mizell fled inside the camper trailer and refused commands to come out. K-9 Rocco was deployed and apprehended the suspect. Mizell had several felony warrants for his arrest and was found in possession of a stolen vehicle. On October 31st, 2017, deputies conducted a traffic stop on Moffett Road and Fire Tower Road in which the driver, Kevin Nelson, was found to have 2 stolen license plates and a deputy sheriff badge. He also had several warrants for his arrest. Investigators were called to the scene and conducted an interview which led to the recovery of the following stolen property: 1 backhoe, 2 enclosed trailers, utility trailers, 1 vehicle, 4 motorcycles, and an assortment of other stolen merchandise. On November the 10th, 2017, deputies arrested Rex Thompson on Comandary Road while occupying a stolen vehicle and possessing a firearm. Thompson was out on bond awaiting trial for several property crimes throughout the Semmes area. Questions, concerns?
One question, the guy with the bloody arm, what happened to his arm?
That's K-9 Rocco apprehended him a little bit. So he was, of course, he had to be, treated first before we took him there.
Right.
But he was alive and well.
Well, the declines are good.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Corporal, I think also it might be said that the sheriff's office has some ongoing cases that I can see why you don't want to mention, but would it be a true statement that the sheriff's office is investigating and apprehending some of the big players?
I don't know about big players, but they're apprehending some.
Big
some
for
players.
Semmes.
Yes, there's investigations taking place.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about it at a different time.
Yeah. But I think that it's important people realize that you guys are out there doing a lot that is not spoken of.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
The remarkable reduction in burglaries, that would be possibly because of the work you had done in the previous month, rounding up burglars, or what do you attribute that to?
We'd like to think that's the case, but from time to time, there's going to be flexibility and ups and downs when it comes to burglaries. And unfortunately, I think that during the holidays is one of our harder times to deal with. We should see a rise, unfortunately, in burglaries during the holiday season. But we'll deal with those as best we can.
So 1 month down is not a trend?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
I think we're good.
Probably with more businesses coming in and, people moving in to see them, more people, more crime, I guess, a little bit. But I mean, at least it's significantly lower, but I know that the growth in Semmes has been tremendous
Yes,
over the
sir.
past year or so. But that y'all are, on top of things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, next up is the November fire report. Chief Brooks.
Can we get it to maximize? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How's everybody doing?
We are okay.
Our monthly call volume for November, out of 100% of our calls, 71.18% rescue and emergency calls. 0.35% were hazardous condition, no fire. 7.64% were service calls.
Go back to the pie
Go
chart.
back to that first.
Back to the second one.
The pie chart. There
Okay,
you go.
that one, okay.
11.81% good intent calls, 5.21% false alarm, 3.47% were fires, and 0.35% over pressure rupture or an explosion. Major incident types, next slide. Broken down, we had 10 fires, 1 overpressure rupture or explosion, 205 rescue and emergency medical service calls, 1 hazardous condition, no fire, 22 service calls, 34 good intent calls, and 15 false alarm for a total of 288. So we've increased quite a bit this month. Total training hours, 183 and a half hours were company drill training, 2 hours continuing education, 143 hours of driver operator training, 85 hours of firefighter health and wellness, 1 hour of hazmat training, 21 hours of company drill, and 1 hour of continuing officer education. For 26 personnel, that includes our part-timers, 436 and a half hours. So, list of our occupancies that our inspector inspected for the month of November. There's 18 of them. Y'all can just take a minute and view those. There you go. Keep going. One more time. Very good. Average turnout time, dispatch to en route for Station 1 on EMS calls, 51 seconds. Station 2 was 51 seconds. Station 3 was 59 seconds. For fire calls, Station 1 was 51 seconds. Station 2, 48 seconds. Station 3 was 37 seconds for an average of all calls, 51 seconds.
Very good.
Amen.
Average response time dispatch to arrival, Station 1 for EMS calls was 6 minutes and 44 seconds. Station 2 was 7 minutes and 3 seconds. Station 3 was 7 minutes and 33 seconds. For fire calls, Station 1 was 5 minutes and 23 seconds. Station 2 was 7 minutes 22. And Station 3 was 6 minutes and 6 seconds. For an average for all calls, 6 minutes and 53 seconds. This is the first time that we've gotten up under 7 minutes for all calls, and I'm very pleased with that. Average on time when we get on scene is 18 minutes and 31 seconds. This is the average time that we spend on scene. For the month of November, Lieutenant Watson, our fire prevention officer, has been collaborating with South Alabama IT students to come up with a program to put on our website. And this will be a tab that you can click on. There'll be interactive games for the kids dealing with fire safety and fire prevention. The other day I went and watched the program being taught by the class to the instructor, and it was just amazing. It's just another tool that we're going to be able to have in our fire prevention program. That's going to be up and running in about a week or two. They're still trying to tweak things, so we'll get the word out about that, where the kids can go on there and be able to interact with these fire safety games and different things. Hydrant maintenance, we've completed almost half of the 950 hydrants in our jurisdiction, and our goal is to be through by the end of the month. We've got our ISO report back, and Semmes classification was a 5.5X, and what that means is if you were within 5 miles of a fire hydrant and, 5 miles of a fire station and 1,000 feet of a hydrant, you are rated a class 5. 5X, if you are 5 miles within a fire station but beyond 1,000 feet of a hydrant, you are rated 5X. We were real close to being a 4, about 3.5 points. We've identified some things that we can correct, and within a year we can have that auditor come back and do another audit and drop our classification to a 4. So I'm looking forward to that. I think we can make those changes and make that happen. Still been having meetings with our mini pumper spec committee. We've invited some manufacturers to come in and give presentations on their different trucks and what they have to offer. So probably within the next couple of weeks, we'll be sending out that bid list, and we'll put that out for bid. Also, I have, I think it's a sheet everybody's handed out to you. So just talking a little bit about our maintenance. We've had a lot of maintenance in the last year. I've listed 3 of our trucks that are 20 years old. We've taken a big chunk out of our maintenance budget already this fiscal year. Engine 2, since November of 2016, we spent $14,463. Of course, that truck was damaged, and insurance is going to pay for the damages. Engine 5, it's also 20 years old, $3,606.66. And ladder 3, which is also 20 years old, almost $30,000, $29,189.90. So, as our fleet ages, there's more maintenance costs, and just wanted y'all to be aware of that. Any questions?
I attended Mr. Platt and I attended the ISO report meeting, and I learned quite a bit. It was an excellent meeting, and the gentleman was most informative, and I agree with your assessment. I believe that hopefully within as few as 6 months, we can ask them to come back, and certainly, like you said, no more than a year. And we're just a handful of points away from being ISO 4, which is very good. So I think we can get there. I didn't see anything that was not doable. So appreciate your help on that.
I would like to point out something. Shannon, can you go back to slide 2? I think it's 2. It's the one that shows the number of, that's it.
That's it.
All right, rescue and emergency medical services. 71% of your resources are used for that. Is it or is it not true that that is not even considered for the ISO rate?
That's true. They only look at your structure fires.
All right, I just wanted to bring that out because the public needs to realize, the council needs to realize that you're using 71% of your resources that in no way affect your ISO rate.
That's correct.
And I wasn't sure if people were aware of that.
It's a very good point.
I guess for now is as good a time as any. For those of you that do not know, the mayor and I relocate to unknown locations several hours before meetings, and we take the gloves off. And I was told there was a change in the agenda, and I agreed to that one change, but I think there's an item missing that I had worked with the chief on, and that was the possibility of getting in on a co-op where we could move forward a lot quicker. Is that,
Well, that's still alive, and
why isn't it on the agenda? Who took it off?
well, it's a work in progress. I mean, what would you like,
I'm here to discuss
what would
it.
you like to talk about?
Well, I want to know who took it off
Well,
and,
there are two options on the table. One is you can bid out the job, you can bid out the mini pumper, or you can use this other program.
no, we're not talking the mini pumper. We're talking about joining the co-op and seeing if we can get a mini pumper.
Mhm.
Counselor, who has the authority to add and remove from the city council agenda? Do council members have that authority?
Anybody can put, that's on the council, can ask to put whatever they want on the agenda by Friday at 3 o'clock, according to y'all's own rules that you adopted.
All right, so our new city clerk, what happened to what we were working on for?
We was told that we need a money amount, an amount before we,
Oh, yeah,
for the
yeah,
resolution.
that was it. There wasn't a dollar amount on it, that's
It
what
wasn't
it
a
was.
dollar amount.
Well, the dollar amount was zero, and that was mentioned. There's no money involved in joining this co-op. I would like to have the agenda amended, and let's put this on the city council for the regular session. This gives the city the opportunity to acquire this equipment quicker, and, you know, he's already presented cold, hard facts here that we're backing up on all this other stuff,
Mhm.
and
Well, that's agreeable to me. If you want to discuss it, that's fine, we can add it to the.
Well, I'd like for the council to vote on whether or not the chief can proceed with joining this co-op. and
Well,
see
has everyone on the council thoroughly read that packet?
I have not.
Okay, have you, Mr. Lawson?
No.
Have you, Mr. Webb?
if- Well, if that's the case, then let's remove items, all this school stuff. This is a Judy Hale presentation. I've never heard of it. It's the first I've seen of it. If we're gonna go by those rules, let's scratch all this stuff. I've never seen any packets of information on any of this. I've been to every council meeting.
Okay. All right.
But I think if a council person puts something on the city council agenda, then it needs to be on the city council
Well,
agenda.
let's add it to the regular session instance.
Well, let's do that.
We'll put the packet, is there a motion to put the packet of information regarding the co-op on the agenda?
So moved.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Very good. It's added to the agenda.
Chief, I'm sorry I didn't know that this wasn't here until I picked this paper up. Okay.
All right.
The regular session agenda.
Okay, can we just add it to the regular?
Yeah, you just gotta do that in the regular session.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the
And
regular.
you can do it, talk about it now if you want to.
Okay. Let's talk about it now. We'll add it to the regular session.
Chief, explain this to everybody, please.
This co-op is just a co-op that all the major manufacturers use, and it forbids the spec and bidding process, and you can join this and buy directly from a vendor of your choice. And so it's just another tool to use, another option.
And in order to expedite this, I believe the chief did check with the municipal league of municipalities, and they know about this co-op, everything's legit, and it's not gonna cost anything, it's just an opportunity to possibly, and there's no commitment, to possibly acquire this piece of fire equipment, this mini pumper, as much as maybe 3 months or more sooner. All these things are custom, hand-built, You don't pick them off a lot, and the chief's identified, basically they have nothing but the frame right now, right?
I have one particular manufacturer has a frame built.
Yeah, yeah. But if we can get this in service 3 months earlier, and it costs us nothing except joining a co-op, and we've got the blessing from the League of Municipalities, I think it's a no-brainer, and the council needs to decide whether or not to allow the chief to proceed.
Okay. Mr. Webb?
No comment.
Okay, Mr. Lawson?
I mean,
I thought that's fine.
Mr. Smith?
Well, I think we need to know, we've already approved putting out the bids, and what happened to that? We could have had a bid opening by now.
We're
What
still,
happened?
we're
What
still
happened?
meeting, the spec committee that we formed. We just got the presentations from the different manufacturers to come in and give a presentation on their different trucks. So that's kind of where we're at now. There was one that was identified that we liked, that we could purchase off this co-op. It's, like I said, it's just a different option. It doesn't cost the city anything to be a member of it. So that's something that is an option.
Has the committee finalized the specifications? Do we really know?
We haven't finalized the total specs, no, sir.
If you do work with this co-op in acquiring a piece of equipment, does that negate the need for a bid process?
Yes.
Go ahead.
If it's a purchasing co-op, which I assume that's what you're talking about, it's got to be approved, the particular one, there's a bunch of different ones, by the Alabama Department of Examiners of Public Accounts, and they've got a list of approved ones. I don't know which particular one this is, but there's different ones like NJPA and
It's called HGAC.
HGAC, Houston.
Houston Galveston Area
Yeah,
Council.
that one, I can't say for sure, but I think it may be, I can check though.
Well, Chief, we tried to jump over a bunch of red tape here. That's going to be your responsibility to work with the chief. If it's something you want to do, then let's just make sure that we're good to go.
Okay.
And you said you'd call the league if they put their blessings on it.
They did.
And,
I actually talked to a guy, he is a retired fireman, and he said that the city of Prattville Fire Department is purchasing equipment off there right now. And there's, Mobile has used them, several other departments and cities.
what was your intent bringing this up?
It's just to show the maintenance of our trucks, and like I said, we've spent a lot already in our maintenance budget for this fiscal year. So if I were to come back and say, hey, I need more money in my maintenance budget, then I've presented you with some information to show you why that we're spending that kind of money.
Well, I think the city council as a whole has been very aggressive on getting the equipment that is needed. I hate to see these kind of expenditures on something 20 years old. But the meeting that we attended, the mayor and myself were there with the ISO guy and your people. We did identify a lot of ways that we can get our ISO into a better place. And it's really no expenditure, really, no expenditure at all. But again, the council needs to constantly stay aware of the fact that we're talking about two separate things. ISO rating is something that I think that the chief and his people can change without any money. But that's not going to change the fact that we've got 20-year-old fire trucks. And that's, I don't want to spend the money. It's not my decision, but if you look at the financial report that Mr. Smith gave us, it's not a question of money. I think it's a question of wise expenditures, and we we're gonna have to make a decision as to what's wise. We got money sitting here doing absolutely nothing for the people. I'm through, thank you, Chief.
Okay,
Let me ask about the trucks, the fire trucks that's used now.
Yes, sir.
Were they bought secondhand?
The older trucks, yes, sir. The only new truck that we have is the one that the city purchased in December of last year, the KME. And also, well, we have a tanker truck that the city
Two,
purchased a couple of years ago.
good. Okay,
Thank you.
Mr. Washington, comment?
That answered the question right there.
Mr. Washington? Mr. Smith?
Now, it costs $1,000 to join this co-op?
To join, no, sir.
No?
Doesn't cost anything to be a member.
Okay. Now, if you're a member, then we can go on down the line, we can buy other things, not just this one item.
You
Is
can
that
buy loose equipment, air packs, turnout gear, you can buy apparatuses.
Yes.
Yeah, chime in.
Yes, sir, please do.
It's not totally unlimited. The HVAC is approved by the state.
Right.
The only catch is whatever the item, particular item is that you want to buy that they have. It either, as long as it's not on the state bid list, or it's cheaper than the state bid list. If it's on the state bid list, then you have to go through the state unless the HVAC is cheaper, in other words.
Right.
So you gotta check that first before you buy anything. And then the purchase has to be made through an Alabama vendor, if there is one. And those are the only two catches to it.
Were you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. Any other comments on this? Okay. Thank you, Chief. All right.
Thank you
Moving
very
along.
much.
Thanks, sir. Moving along, financial report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the checks?
Yes, sir.
Good? Okay, everybody's good? Okay. We won't vote on these until the regular session. Review and discussion of proposed ordinances. There are no proposed ordinances tonight. Review and discussion of proposed resolutions. The first item is an ABC application for Semmes Shell. And this is the discussion phase. This is the Shell station, I'm thinking, up here? Which one?
Schillinger Market?
Uh-huh.
Schillinger and Moffitt.
Yeah,
Okay.
like that.
Schillinger and Moffitt right up here. Okay, good. And is the gentleman from ABC here yet? No. Okay. We were supposed to get a briefing from ABC.
He'll be here at 4.
Okay, 4. We have a presentation from the ABC agent, and he's going to enlighten the council a little bit about how they do licenses and things like that. I think it would be beneficial for us. But he won't be here until the regular meeting. In any event, are there any comments on this application? Mr. Smith?
None?
Mr. Webb?
None.
Mr. Platt?
No, sir.
Mr. Lawson?
No.
Of course, you know that I'm not for alcohol in Semmes. So
Okay.
I'm, just not really, I'm just not for this.
I understand.
Amen.
Again, it's one of my kind of a campaign thing I've put around my neck that kind of like what Terry doing with the safety and stuff, is that's just one little area that I'm hoping that we can taper instead of growing as bad. I was driving to Louisiana, and it's just, the different beer companies and the different alcoholic, but then I seen tragedy last night driving in from Louisiana, and it was related, and then here we're already, and I just want to keep Semmes a family type oriented instead of, but again, it's probably impossible, but at least I can be known as that, that I, that's mine, and other people on the council also. And I don't want to hurt this guy's feelings that's coming, and I probably won't comment at all, but just listen, what, I may even know him, because they're kind of telling me a little bit, talking to me about my opposition and stuff like that. But anyway, I have to voice myself, I'm sorry I took too long, okay.
Thank you.
Not at all. All right, next item, any other comments on the ABC application for Semmes Show? Any other comments? Okay. Next items, B, C, D, and E are, I believe, budgeted items under the heading of local school support. And we are allowed to support the local schools if they are within our jurisdiction on certain projects as they submit these projects. And basically, as you look at B, C, D, and E, you will see various projects for various schools helping them out in different ways. Allentown, you have one for Allentown for the playground improvements. You have one for Mary G. Montgomery regarding AC units. You have one for, let's see here. Yeah, AC units, and then one for the Semmes Elementary School. So take a minute to look at those, and questions, discussion, whatever. Historically, we have supported the schools on various projects through the years to help them out in areas where they have a critical need or a need, and we could help to some extent.
Mr. President, has this been already worked into the budget? Is this just a question of approval, or?
Yes, sir.
These are-
Yes, sir.
This is.
It's under that, was it 40,000?
$36,000.
$36,000 that was in the budget for schools.
For these particular items.
Yeah, for school support in general as a budget line item.
Well,
And then these will be pulled off.
doesn't their request come, I mean, just one school's asking for more than that? Am I correct?
Yes.
Well, schools ask for more, but these are allowances for,
Yeah, what they asked for and what they received were different.
this is what was worth.
Yeah, for example, yeah, it's less.
All right, Mr. Smith and the finance committee are happy with this?
Yes.
Good enough.
And that's 36,000 corporately of all of them, or is that Howard, is that?
For the total.
Oh, okay.
That's the total. Yeah, that's the total. Okay, any other questions or comments on those issues? Resolutions A through E. Anyone else? Mr. Webb, any comment? Or do you want more time? Okay, Mr. Platt?
I just,
Yes, sir.
Well, I made the comment that, it's first I've seen of it, and
Sure.
as far as I know, it really is, but, if this is something we customers can bring and, finance committee's happy, I'm happy, I would just, I'd like to see us be able to do all of it. Personally, I really would. If we don't invest in our kids, we might as well just pack it up.
Yeah.
So, that's just how I feel about it.
Well, as you say, we can't solve all their needs, but we can help. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
the, what amount was mentioned a while ago was different from this. This is 59,500 that's on this.
Yes, sir. That was what they asked for, but,
Yeah.
We just took care of one item.
we took care of one
Rest
item.
there.
Because there was only so much on the budget line item for the schools.
How will the 36,000 be allocated? I think that's the same question Mr. Watson asked.
Well, essentially, if the allocation is approved, then the school system has to do their due diligence in terms of doing the research, contracting it out, making sure that they're getting what they need.
So the school board would receive a lump sum and it wouldn't be going to,
They're actually separate items and they're
Yes.
specific jobs, so.
Yeah, they'd be earmarked.
They're different schools. Each
Okay.
school gets a certain amount for a particular project.
But they have work to do
we would allocate so much of the requested amount per
per project.
Well,
project.
It's specified on this right here.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. All right, committee reports. Finance.
Thank you, Mr. President. I believe each one of you has a bank statement before you there showing each of the bank accounts, exactly how much we had. It would be as of November. And that is the report right there. I believe I need to mention, let's see, we have a total of nearly $2 million in the gas tax bank accounts. These are funds that are restricted for streets and roadways, so we hope that we'll be able to see that turn into some asphalt and other good things in the coming year.
It's also important to remember that I believe the going rate for 1 mile of paved road is $1 million.
Right.
So it wouldn't take long to chew that up.
With that good piece of perspective, you can see it's not that much money for that particular thing. We're in good shape, as you can see, and that's the report on finances for this.
Okay. Questions, Mr. Webb?
None.
Mr. Platt?
I know that the budget stabilization fund is an aggravating situation, and several remarks have been made about these funds just sitting there. And I was just wondering if any plans have been made, or does this just go on until the end of time, or it has to be addressed eventually. We're looking at a lot of money, and if we're not gonna use it for the taxpayers, maybe we ought to just give it back to them.
Well, I think one of the things we're looking at, one initiative is we have we all know, a very old fire department in terms of equipment. And that's going to take, I mean, if we were to turn our full attention to that tomorrow, that would take a significant amount of money.
Well, we cannot do
to bring all that.
We gotta
And-
be smarter than that, but
And also, too, the city is developing a plan for expenditures, which we hope to develop and bring out to the public in January. And it's going to show how some of these funds would be spent in a new initiative. And you'll see that in January. But you also must remember that, we have to maintain a reserve. We have
Well,
to
yeah.
have funds. We have to have funds in reserve, because all of our resources come from sales tax. And as long as the economy is vibrant and people are buying things, then the sales tax revenue is solid. However, if that were to take a dip, that would subsequently drop the amount of money we receive on a monthly basis. So we are at the mercy of the market.
What is the amount that, and it may not be ethically right to ask this, but what type of income, I mean, so we got the stabilization fund sitting there, but what is the flow of monies coming in monthly to the city at this point? And, if the economy does do a reversal, that's the type of situation we're gonna look, that's gonna be complicated, and so I have a reserve in my bank account for myself, and I probably, I'm like Terry, I'd be sitting there, but I say, well, I don't need to use this, but, because I'm just gonna go away and my children are gonna get some of it, but, like Terry said, I mean, it's an option to go on and do or not to do, but, being fragile, and not fragile, but really just safe, is what I can kind of see the city doing, to answer Terry a little bit, but I can understand his side too, though, looking at, constructively, but.
Well, it's a good question.
It's really gonna be, well, we can say if, though. Like you said, though, the if's been sitting there for years or whatever, I don't know, I'm not watching that close, but this, to me, is that it's safety, some type of safety, and nobody's gonna come out here and write a check to the city if it starts doing anything that's,
And that
that's
brings
making it
out,
out. I'm
yeah.
not saying we would.
That brings out a very good point. The public expects certain things from the city, and that, of
Yeah.
course, is our core mission. Our core mission is police and fire and public works, and processing documents to city hall staff. And those functions can't stop. They can't stop.
Yeah.
And in cities that find themselves playing too close to the margin, sometimes get into trouble. Yes?
The councilmen are really zeroing in on a very important thing, and as the mayor has hinted, hopefully we'll have something in January. You should know the finance committee has had some very most intense discussions on exactly these things. We'll be trying to bring something to the council.
Well, the income, monthly, is that okay to ask, or it don't have to be answered, but at least,
Well, of course, you can see all the numbers. I mean, you've got to remember, as I said, our revenue is from sales tax.
Right.
Sales tax rolls in every month, and you can see that anytime you wish. Not a problem. Okay. Yes?
Mr. President, my intent was not to start a discussion. My intent really was to ensure that the council doesn't lose sight of this.
It's a very good point.
We might need to expand a little bit on the fisticuffs that you and I encounter frequently, and battle things out. It needs to be said that I was turned around probably 95% of what I come up here totally mad about. But I'm surprised to hear that you are now mentioning to the rest of the council what I got wind of earlier, and that's a renewed initiative. Are we going to, does that come later, or?
Yes. 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 That's a very good question. And as Mr. Platt said, I welcome council input. As you look at the budget, as you look at the strategic reserve, I would appreciate your input. I really would.
Well,
because you need more than just the finance committee to talk about that.
I told the chief after the ISO meeting that my primary focus has changed. I was after equipment, people.
Yeah.
But I think I've kind of got him in a squirrely situation here where let's pick this low-hanging fruit and let's get this ISO changed, and then let's look at these other things.
And I think equipment was the driving factor.
You know.
Yeah.
Well,
we looked at people, we looked at equipment, and equipment seemed to be the doable part.
Well, like I said, ISO or not,
Yeah.
if I'm laying in the front yard with a heart attack, I'm gonna pray to God that 20-year-old truck just makes one more trip. Just one more trip. And that's the way that we need to look at it.
Yes, sir. Mr. Wood.
Let me remind everybody that these trucks are not wearing out. They're maintained with absolutely the very best service available
Yes.
anywhere in this country.
Yes.
And I depend on, and I can trust the chief to tell us what they need, and we will supply the need for protection, fire protection for the city of.
There's your proof, $30,000 a month for one truck. Is that right?
Is that every month?
Well, I
No, not every month.
but I mean, we've got,
But we're working on the problem.
we're working on it, but we don't need to lose sight of the fact that we're working with a bunch of old people.
And please, let's have a strong stabilization fund. Because I worked for a municipality for 14 years, and I'm not sure they had over $50,000 in a stabilization fund. Let's keep it strong, because we got these.
You know, all these people take care of it.
That's right, and we're without excuse.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Anything else in financial report? No. Mr. Lawson, you're up next. Roadways and right-of-ways.
Well, we had a meeting yesterday, and Jason provided me with something. They've been working on the public works city and city hall. There's all kinds of stuff going, working on trucks, vehicles, keeping stuff serviced. They mowed 13 miles of right-of-way. I know for sure one instance of about a mile of road that I went through the other day, and it was in terrible shape. I talked to Jason about it. They took care of it. Took a whole crew of men to clean that road up, and they did a real good job. And, as I say, you know, they had to set up the Christmas tree. I don't think that was a real easy job.
No.
And, then they've had some, 3 hours of public safety training.
Very good.
Have you heard anything, any complaints at all about the median up there in front of Winn-Dixie?
I can't count that high.
That's a long subject.
Well, Mr. Webb, can you bring everybody up to date on what we recently discovered about that so that we can get rid of that issue?
Probably not, but I'll try. The way it was designed and put together, it really is not what they expected to be there. But I've talked to the folks at Aldott, and they said that they would recommend that we leave it alone, don't do anything to it for at least 30 days and see how it's going to affect the merchants in that area. And if it's a tremendous drop in revenue for the city and profit for the business along there, they said something that could be redone. It could, or that concrete could be taken out of there, and eastbound left turn lane, that concrete could be taken up and be put in there. They said it could be handled, but that was the way they thought that they were supposed to do it, and thought maybe that would work. But they said give it 30 days and see what it's like. So
Sure, check the numbers.
I guess, I mean, that's what I've learned. And they were gonna meet me out there today, but they came up with that idea, and I thought it was, well, let's try it.
Okay,
It's not gonna go broke in 30 days, you know,
very good.
so. But, yes, sir.
Mr. President, additionally, I've learned that the city's probably opening itself up for some liability. We have no say-so on that state road. And as much as we would like to ensure the success of our area businesses, the truth of the matter is, and most people don't know this, is that shopping center, Semmes, Winn-Dixie, is not even in the city limits. And
We'll get revenue out
yeah,
from this,
Yeah.
but it's,
this is one of the complaints that I went to the mayor about. We have at least 3 councilmen and a mayor working on the same problem, which I think is ridiculous. And the mayor said that he's considering some options. I think that we should listen to on that. But we have citizens that call everybody that they know, and we all go in our different ways. But I like the suggestion of DOT, because I think the safest thing to do right now is to be hands-off. I hate to say that, but it's not our road. It's up there. I don't want Aldott or some attorney to say, oh, well, the state had it all planned perfectly safe, and then the city wanted to change. Well, start writing checks.
I'll say this, it was engineered and designed by somebody that has experience. I don't have that kind of experience in building highways.
Well, I just,
We can't take a chance.
the people that complained to me, I had a man pull up to my front yard, so don't you come look at my trailer. He said, this is what happens when you run over a concrete median. I said, well, didn't you know that you ain't supposed to run over a concrete median? You know, and he said, well, there's no signs or anything like that. I've always made that turn, you know. But anyway, as far as I'm concerned, it's hands off, let DOT handle it, and they answer the phone call.
Okay. All right, anything else regarding roadways, Mr. Losh's committee, anything?
That's
Okay,
it.
moving on to public safety, Mr. Platt, police, fire, rescue.
The SO and the fire department have given us a complete update, and I don't think anything else needs to be said.
Very good. Any comments or questions for Mr. Platt? Anyone? Very good. Moving on to Parks and Rec. Again, Mr. Platt, you're up.
Parks and Recreation is just kind of idling along. I think that the only thing there is an update on the signs and the tribute to Mr. Shirey, the municipal park signs, such as that. Jason, do you have any kind of an update on any of that, or?
We have the municipal park signs ready, and we've already ordered it, got it in. We just have to build the actual sign, set it up. I don't see why we couldn't have it done by next week. The memorial to Mr. Shirey, I have to get a report from Rob on that. We'll have it at the Parks and Rec meeting Thursday night, or Thursday afternoon.
Okay, if y'all can't pick up the pace on that, I'm gonna have to give y'all some type of an award for the thickest red tape I've ever seen. Somebody's holding this thing up. I mean, it's just.
Yeah. It was a miscommunication on who was gonna go talk to the Shireys, and then we had to wait for them to get back to us on what exactly they wanted to do, but.
I'm not gonna ask you again about the electronic sign.
Good.
That way y'all won't
We
have
got
to.
that now.
Yeah. I don't know.
Won't be here for Christmas, huh?
We working on
Who knows?
Just tease it.
All right. Anything else, Parks and Rec?
that. We're just gonna stay yesterday too.
Didn't you? Okay, good. All right, any other council, legal counsel, or staff comments? Any other business that might come before the work session? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None? We are adjourned. We will take a 10-minute break, and then we will start. All right, what time is it?
It is 4:12.
4:12. All right, as Mr. Webb returns. Okay, the time is 4:12. The regular session for the City Council of Semmes is hereby called to order. Roll call.
Mayor David Baker.
Here.
Councilmember Charles Watts.
Here.
Councilmember Howard Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Lawrence Webb.
Here.
Councilmember Terry Platt.
Here.
Councilmember Lee Alshee.
Here.
Very good, we are 100%. Everyone is here. Invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. Let's see. Ms. Byrd, are you up to doing the invocation? And Chief, would you do the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, Ms. Byrd, you're up there.
Please stand. Father, we thank you that you're our God, that you're King of Kings and Lord of Lords. We thank you for our community. We thank you for Semmes, Lord. And we thank you, Father, for giving us wisdom in everything that is said and done. And we ask you, Father, to let us have a peaceful and quiet spirit, that we might hear what you want done best for our city, that we would only do things that would be pleasing unto you. And we thank you, Father, for this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
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 Join me in saying the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you both, appreciate that. All right. Item number 5 is consideration of the minutes from the regular council session of November 21st. I'll give you a few minutes to look those over if you haven't already.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Very good. The minutes from the regular council session of November 21st, 2017 are approved. Item 6, presentations and guest speakers. We are pleased and honored to have representatives from the state ABC board here to share with us some information on their procedures and ratings and such. So welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to you all. Thank you.
First, I want to thank the mayor and the council for allowing us to come today, have this opportunity to speak to you all. My name is TJ Gibson. I am the licensing and compliance inspector for Mobile County. This is our administrative support assistant, Sandy Durham. She's based at our Theodore office. And that is Alex Late. He is also an inspector with us for the Mobile County area. I'm here today in regards just to educate, inform, and hopefully help answer any questions you guys might have when it comes to potential applicants for an ABC license within your city jurisdiction. Clear up any misunderstandings. Sandy's put together some packets for you guys that she's going to pass out to you. This right here essentially has got all my contact information. That way if you ever have any questions or need anything, feel free to give me a call at any time. I have my work cell phone with me pretty much anywhere I go unless I go out of the country. Attached to that is also what we have a checklist whenever we do apply, have applicants that apply for an ABC license. Things that we have to have and the certain requirements that are required by the state. And the last part of the packet is a pre-application packet that potential applicants fill out and then make an appointment with Ms. Sandy. And this is what all the required documentation that we need to be able to issue an ABC license. So I'm first going to start with the pre-application packet. It's going to be the third stapled copy on the back, or the second stapled copy. With the pre-application packet, for you to make an appointment at my office, you have to have the first 10 items completed. The first 10 items on that is going to be, we need to see your proof of citizenship. We're going to need to see proof of your date of birth, picture ID. We'll have to have your sales tax ID, federal EIN. If there's any sketches associated with the application that you're applying for, we'll need to see your corporational paperwork, your certificate from the state, Secretary of State. We'll have to see your lease or deed for the property that you're trying to get licensed. With ABC licenses, we do not license corporations. We license by location. So if you're at 123 Joe Doe Street, we're licensing 123 Joe Doe Street. So these shopping centers that have the different suites, we license by the location. So Rite Aid, we don't license the corporation of Rite Aid. We license that particular building at that particular spot. Okay? As you know, we have several different types of license types. We have on and off beer and wine. We have just off-premise beer and wine. We have package store, which is going to be a lounge license, Class 1. We've got a lounge license, Class 2. That's going to be more of your traditional bar. We have restaurant licenses. We have common carrier licenses, and that's going to be more for Carnival Cruise Ship automobile. We have special retail license, special event licenses, and that's going to be what you see Cinco de Mayo. A lot of Mexican restaurants apply for a special event license. The fair, the Mobile Fair, they apply for a special event license. Them are a lot more limited and restricted. We are not very willing to get them licensed out without proof that that's exactly what we're doing and this is the time frame we're going to do it for. Like I said, the checklist, that's just something for we use in-house to make sure that we get all the required documents. If a corporation has 3 members, a part of that corporation, we need background check, we need your proof of citizenship for each member of that corporation. So it is a very extensive and detailed process. Once we get everything we do, we send it over to the city or the jurisdiction that it falls under. So particularly the Dollar General here in Semmes, they had to go through this process with us. We then send it over to you guys, the city clerk. They have to start the application process with you guys, and then it comes to you for a vote, and your vote is the deciding factor. When it comes to Dollar General in particular, because they're applying for an off-premise beer and wine license, if you do not get the local governing authority approval, they cannot get the license for wine. Beer is different. The way it's written in the Alabama law is that they can then appeal, and it goes to the ABC Commission, and the Commission can actually overturn a city or local governing denial for just beer. Anything else, if it was a restaurant, if it was a package store, a bar, the city denies it, that's it. is squashed without having to go to circuit court. The only way that it gets turned on that is it goes to circuit court. So for instance, I was informed about Dollar General. You guys didn't move on Dollar General. At this point, once I get the official denial letter from the city, I'll have to then send it to Dollar General Court. They'll come back, and it's up to them if they want to appeal it. If they appeal it, I'll have to get documentation put together, and I'll come back with notices to appear. The city will have to appear before the ABC Commission, Dollar General will have to appear before the ABC Commission, and I will have to appear before the ABC Commission. And at that point, each side tells why they believe they should have it and why they shouldn't have it, and then the commission decides if they're going to uphold the city's denial or if they're going to reverse it. And that's usually how it goes with the off-premise beer. Any questions so far?
You mentioned 3 locations that I kind of missed part of that.
Okay.
Probably best to just continue, it'll come to me.
I think you were talking about when I was talking about there's 3 different members part of a corporation. Each member, for instance, if you 3 had a corporation together, Semmes LLC, if you all 3, he's president, vice president, treasurer, we would have to have a background check on all 3 of you. We'd have to have your proof of citizenship on all 3 of you before we can move forward on our side of things to get you an ABC license. And I was talking about it being a very detailed process of having to get your alcohol license.
If you're licensing 123 Abe Street, is it an individual that applies? Or what if it's a corporation?
It can be a sole proprietor or it can be a corporation. If it's a corporation, everyone within that corporation that has any type of financial interest in it has to have a background check and have to see a proof of citizenship, so on and so on. If it's a sole proprietor, if you're going in, starting a business, and you want to be a sole proprietor, I just need your information. As long as no one else has any type of financial interest, indirectly or directly.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
What kind of background would they have if they were denied the license? What do you look at? What do you look for?
On our side of things, like I said, they have to get, if they're a resident of Alabama, they've got to get an Alabama Law Enforcement Agency background check. Once we get that, we'll go through it, see if they have any type of, serious crime background, is really what we'll be looking for. The law states that a person applying for an ABC license has to be in good faith to acquire that type of license.
Good faith, what is it? I mean,
Necessary and good character.
okay, but I mean, does criminal past matter? Or?
It can. And then that's where it kind of comes more of the attorney side of things and the legalities of it, of what is to be considered a good character.
What do you deny over?
Since I've been here 2 years. I've not had to deny any. I've not seen any been denied. And I really haven't seen anything on somebody's background check that's been more than a misdemeanor. So, but another thing I want to relate to the council is that we are out and about. A lot of people don't know about us. They know about us, but they know about us because of the stores. They don't know about the other side of it. We are the people that come out, and we're the ones that make sure these licensees are up to standards, and we're holding them responsible. I go out every day. Anybody that sells to a minor, that first time offense to sell to a minor is $1,000 that goes straight to the licensee. Not only that, the person who actually sold it has a criminal citation attached to it. So not only is these places getting fined once, they're getting fined twice. The employee's getting fined and the store's getting fined. If you have 3 of the same type violations, in particular, let's say Rite Aid sold to a minor 3 times within 4 years, it's an automatic commission hearing in Montgomery, and more than likely the license will be suspended for some amount of days.
I appreciate y'all today being here, and for some here today, this is a very weighty matter, very weighty, like lifting weights.
Yes, sir.
And I'm like, I've already heard some conversation today that y'all have already been, it's already been, you know, given a voice, but, and I wasn't gonna say anything, but I do appreciate y'all, you know, and I don't know how you got here today. I mean, I know you drove in your car, but, how you really, you know, are here today, it is, I'm not going to ask who invited you, but, or maybe you just happened on the city council today to come, but.
Well, honestly, if you want to be very honest with you, once I heard about the Dollar General application, you guys are one group of local governing body that I have not spoken to. I covered 4 other counties. So this was a good opportunity. Knew what was going on with Dollar General. I wanted to come and make sure that, you know, you guys knew who I was, knew who he was, she was, and that you know that we are here to help and be a resource to you guys. Because, like I said, everyone knows us about the stores, but they don't understand the other side of it. I mean, we are out and about. We're holding these people accountable, and that's our job. And that's what we do. We work hand in hand with all the local sheriff's office, Mobile PD, the ALEA, Alabama Law Enforcement Agency. I work with them on a daily basis. So it's definitely is being worked in this area, and it has to be.
Well, it's a very lucrative, you know, at this point in our world, as well as other, like Biloxi and Gulfport area. I mean, there's entities, and then in Alabama, you know, some areas already have big building income, and then when is it going to happen in here in Mobile? You know, when is it going to be? You know, the tax on it, and like we're talking about today, just financially, you know, being sustained. But also, I appreciate you all privately a minute ago, me talking with you, that you know, you can have a position and not really have possession, like, you know, or even like a person that has owned a casino. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're, it just means that's their choice, and it happened to be this, you know. But again, with you know, you all, I'm glad to hear, and I sense that, and I think our conversation was interrupted, but that you were, you know, it's like a law enforcement person. Some of them the biggest thieves that ever walked, but that you have to wear a badge, you know. But,
right.
But today, just you being here, and you not even knowing the circumstances of the past with this council, or with a part of this council anyway, that's voiced a very strong voice. And of course, it's not the right voice that you'd like to hear, but still, I appreciate timeliness and this happening, and then learning about it. I went to these restaurants, so I didn't learn a lot, but I might call at some point. But you all are, you know, today being here is, I think, timely, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Mr. Watt. Any other questions?
Mr. Webb, any questions?
None.
Mr. Platt?
You've already covered it, but could you briefly and tell us again what the process is going to be now that the council did not act on the Dollar General application?
Yes, sir. So once I get the official denial letter from the city clerk, I will then start my side of things and getting what I call a commission hearing packet together. I will then submit that. Once a date is set, I will receive a notice to appear. I will hand deliver the notice to appear to the city clerk. I'll hand deliver the notice to appear to the Dollar General, and then whatever the date is set, we'll go to Montgomery and have a commission hearing whether or not they should be issued a license. And that is all basis on if Dollar General appeals. They could just say, okay, that's fine, the city of Semmes doesn't want us to have alcohol inside their city limits, we'll leave it alone. But in my past working with Dollar General, I would expect that notice to appear.
Okay.
Who from the city of Semmes would go to Montgomery?
Whoever you would want to act as your representative. It could be your city attorney, it could be the mayor, it could be one of the councilmen.
You know, Charlie Watts.
They don't want me there. I have to choose my words even now, what I say. I mean, it comes back to bite you, but I mean, it's with any, you know, position or title, people are gonna have their opinion, but I would hope that if it is, something that it would be somebody on the council that's maybe dealt with this. I have not, except just, shared with you what I was saying, but I have no clue. I'm recommending Terry. He does deep research on stuff and has been involved as a policeman and all this kind of stuff, but just to be, and not saying that, to me, just a minute ago, I heard you say that it's probably going to happen, shut your mouth, don't say anything, which I feel like I really should do, but I'm taking a risk, there's that. I would like to see Semmes, this, well, I'm the world, but it's not gonna, so, but, I'm just a little dot, but you all are very timely again being here today, and I appreciate that with the past conversation that's been ongoing.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you, sir.
No, thank you,
sir.
appreciate it.
Ma'am, thank y'all for being here today.
And if y'all need anything, y'all know where to find us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Have a good day.
Y'all too.
Thank you.
Okay, that was only a presentation, guest speaker. Moving on to approval of checks for signature. Has everyone seen all the checks for signature?
I need a drink.
Move for approval.
Mayor Baker,
Yes, ma'am.
I got one more from the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. We do have another short presentation from Mr. Blake on the boys and girls.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello.
I'm not as lengthy as the agency presentation, I promise. This Thursday, I'd like to invite the city council and anybody, in fact, to come by the Boys and Girls Club. Thursday, between 5 and 7. Have a little Christmas party with the kids and the families. Nothing big and spectacular, except that we've been working on a new teen room. We've renovated the old boys' locker room with help from parents, the kids, churches, businesses. It's been a long process, and I'm kind of happy that we're finishing. But we're opening it up finally for use to the kids, and I'd like to invite you guys to come out and be a part of that. The more people we can get outside from the community to come see, it lets them know how important they are and what we're doing.
Sounds good, sir.
So please come join us.
5 to 7 Thursday.
5 to 7 Thursday.
What? I guess I'm asking stuff that I should have asked a long time ago.
That's all right.
Your title, what is your title?
I am the branch director for the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, so you're not employed by the city of Semmes?
Nope.
Okay. Well, you favor the guy that's over our splash pad system. I thought you were to do with that.
No.
Anyway, he just has a favor, and I was wondering, will he see involved in Boys Club too? So I don't know.
No, sir.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Anything else? Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, next item is ordinances. Number 8, there are no ordinances, resolutions. There are 5. Is there a motion for immediate consideration for resolutions 9A through E?
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Checks?
Second.
I will look to check votes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
7A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Is there a motion to approve checks?
So moved.
Okay. Roll call vote?
Mayor Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Watts,
Yeah.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb,
Yes.
Councilmember Platt,
Yes.
Councilmember LaShie.
Yes.
Thank you. Checks are approved for this period. Now, we'll get back to resolutions. Resolutions 9A through E. Is there a motion for immediate consideration?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call vote?
Mayor Baker,
Yes.
Councilman Watts,
Yeah.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb.
Yes.
Councilmember Platt.
Yes.
Councilmember LaShie.
Yes.
Very good. The items are up for immediate consideration. First item up is the ABC application for Semmes Shell. Is there a discussion on that? Any comments? Comments, Mr. Webb, on that? Mr. Platt?
No.
Comment? Mr. LaShie?
No.
Mr. Platt?
You already know, and I've said enough, so.
Come on,
Mr. Smith?
Charlie, you just getting in the
We
swing.
haven't voted yet.
Yeah.
Okay, are there any other comments on that? All right. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Is there a second? I'll second. Roll call vote.
Councilmember Watts.
No.
Councilmember Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Webb.
No.
Councilmember Platt.
No.
Councilmember LaShie.
No.
Mayor Baker.
Yes. Very good, it fails. ABC application is denied. Next item is, this gets into the school board business, school commissioner. Very good. Let's see, the first one is for the playground at Allentown Elementary, and it is an appropriation of $10,000. I think we talked about this to a certain extent in the work session. Are there any comments or questions about this item?
Mr. President, the specific project is appended to it here, showing exactly what's going to be done, and it's something that they requested, and so I move we approve.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote?
Mayor Baker.
Yes.
Councilmember Watts.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Webb.
Yes.
Councilmember Platt.
Yes.
Councilmember LaShie.
Yes.
Very good, that one is approved. Moving to the next resolution, this is authorizing appropriation to the Board of School Commissioners of Mobile County for AC units, Mary G. Montgomery High School. The amount of $6,000 is appropriated. Are there any other questions or comments on that?